Hi, this is Vanessa with Designs by Vanessa. Today's tutorial is on making pom-poms. So I am making a pom-pom with super bulky yarn. You will need a pom-pom maker. This is Clover's extra large. It's 4.5 inches. It's one that I used a lot with all of my beanies. And you can get this at Joann's or Michael's or even on Amazon, eBay. So you will need a good pair of scissors because you're cutting through thick yarn. You'll need a yarn needle so you can attach it to your beanie. And of course you need some yarn. This is super bulky weight yarn. And this is my knotted slouch beanie that I'm making the pom for. Okay, so let's get started. So open your Pom Pom Maker, grab the end of your yarn, and hold the tail and then just start wrapping the yarn around and then slide the yarn as far to the left as you can as you're wrapping so that they're nice and tight. So keep doing that until you get to the other end. Okay, now that I've come to this end, I'm going to just start going back the other direction. And I'm trying to keep the yarn as close to each other as possible. So now when you get to this end, you just go back the other direction. So you do this back and forth about 3 to 5 times. I do mostly 5. If I'm low on yarn, I'll do 3. Just know that if you do 5, it's fuller. If you do 3, it's not as full, but it will get heavier if you go 5. Of course, if you're using worsted weight yarn or a different weight, you know, you'd have to wrap it more times, of course. So just wrap it until it's nice and full, and you want to end up back on the other side. So I'm finishing up back on the side. You want to close it so it goes in there, tucked in there, and then bring the yarn to the other side and start wrapping this side. So you'll do exactly the same thing you did on the other side. Wrap it around about 3 to 5 times. Just try to keep it the same as the other side so that your pom-pom is not, uneven. Alright, so now I'm done with this side, and I'll go ahead and close this side. And then just grab your scissors and cut off the yarn. So now there's a space right underneath it between the two sides. You want to insert your scissor here and start cutting around. So this is why you need a good pair of sharp scissors, because as you can see, this is pretty thick and you want to be able to cut through all those strands of yarn. So now I'm on the other side, and I'll just go ahead and cut through. Alright, so now you want to cut a strand of yarn to tie it all together. So I'll cut about a 12-inch piece or so, and you want to take the strand of yarn and you're going to tie it in there. So place your yarn right there and pull it through to the middle, and then you're going to tie a knot on the other side. You want to be careful. If your yarn is weak, it might break. This is pretty strong. So now pull it tight and wrap it back around the other side. and tie 2 more knots. And you can tie more knots if you like. I find that this is good enough for me. So I'll tie 1 knot and then I'll tie a second knot. Okay, now you can take it off of the Pom Pom Maker. Just lift these 2 tabs here and then lift the other side as well. Oh, it's on the other side, right here. And then you just pull them apart. They're held together by this one little metal piece. Okay, so now it's time to fluff your palm and trim off the edges and make it nice and round. Be careful not to trim the 2 long pieces that you'll need to attach to the beanie. So just fluff and trim around until you're happy with the way it looks. Now let's attach it to the beanie. Grab your yarn needle and run the 1 strand through the needle. Now we're going to go through the top part, the outside. So I usually just pick, not directly in the middle, but off to the side. So here's the middle. So I just sort of just pick a side and insert it through. And then I take the other strand and I choose a stitch or somewhere across from where I put the first one. So across, so I have this one right here, across the middle, and then onto the opposite side. I just insert my needle there somewhere. This looks like a good place. And then just pull it through. So I leave the needle on that last strand, and then I flip the beanie inside out and I tie 2 knots. Again, you can tie more knots if you like. I feel like 2 is sufficient enough for me. And then with the yarn needle still attached to one end, I stick it right through the middle, back up through the palm and pull it out. So once I get this strand through, I remove the needle and I do the same thing with the other strand. So attach the yarn to the needle and then just poke it back into the hole and poke it right through the palm, just like the other one. Alright, so now you just want to cut off the ends. And if you'd like, you can trim it some more. If not, then you're done. Here's the palm. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video.